everyone. I got a little bit of a book haul that I wanted to show you guys before I incorporate them all into my shelving over here. Got a different background today. Just felt like pointing this way for whatever reason. This is all my overstock stuff that's for sale, things like that, or hasn't been sorted yet and incorporated into my collection. So I'm gonna try and burn through this without going through and having to edit a bunch of stuff. But I have a fair amount of books that I picked up from Half Price Books, and a place where you can trade in, sell your books, and then they basically sell them for about half price. Not always the case. They mark up the ones that they know are valuable. And then I also got some from part of a book haul that was ordered. And maybe there's a couple other ones. Oh, I picked up some stuff at a thrift store when I went on vacation this last week, and I hadn't been anywhere in that area before, so I thought I'd try and find all the bookstores as well as the thrift store. There was only one good bookstore, and I got a bunch of stuff for whatnot on there, and a couple horror, maybe 2 horror books from that one, and the rest are from either the book bundle that I ordered or from eBay or something like that. I ordered a few from eBay. So let's see what we got, and I'll try and burn through them here. Some of them still have the tags and prices, but Aliens versus Predator War. I wasn't sure if I had this one, but I do, so this will go on Whatnot. I try to find all of those or collect all of those ones. I think I'm missing like 3 of them. So same with this one, Star Trek Blish, James Blish. This is number 6, and I'm missing like 2 or 3 of these ones also, and I think 6 was one of them, but I haven't been able to check yet. It's buried over there, so I need to pull those out, and then I could see. So I'm getting closer to completing that little set, even though I'm not a Trekkie. I kind of want to read the ones that Blish wrote, so we'll see. Doc Savage, this is an omnibus number 5. It has 5 novels in it. Kenneth Robertson. There's a lot of Doc Savages out there, so this is the 5th omnibus. There's another one in here somewhere. Alan Dean Foster, Ice Rigger. This is a trilogy. I don't remember which one this is in the trilogy, but I know that Ice Rigger is this is part of that part of a trilogy. I was watching an interview with Moyd today, and he was talking about it actually. Oh, so Ice Rigger, the first one is Ice Rigger. Second, Mission to Mulukan, and third, the Deluge Rivers. I don't think I've even seen the other 2, and I've never seen this in the wild, so I had to grab this one. And I would love to read that trilogy as well. Frederick Pohl, The Years of the City. Extraordinary Journey into a Future New York. I haven't read too much Pohl yet, but it's on my list. I'd like to. C.J. Cherry, A Daw. This is Faded Sun, Kessereth, and I'm not sure how many are in that series, but I find those all the time. Terminator Salvation, 99 cents. I couldn't pass it up. I have, so this is an official Alan Dean Foster one as well. I think I remember from hearing him do that interview with Moyd at Media Death Cult. I think he said he wrote like 40 novelizations or movie adaptations or tie-ins. And I think he has like 100 other books, which is kind of crazy, like unique novels that he wrote. So he wrote the first Star Wars one. I'm not sure how many of these ones he wrote. Of Terminator, I'm looking up there. I see Sterling wrote one of them, and I can't read the other one from here. But I have a few. Different novelizations of that too. So I've never, ever found any Alistair Reynolds anywhere, and I hear everybody talking about Alistair Reynolds, epic space opera type stuff, big, awesome books that he just cranks out like the Brandon Sanderson of sci-fi or something, you know. And so I came across a bunch of these. I had wanted to get a bunch of his stuff for a while, and I mean they're about $4 or $5 each, I went ahead and grabbed all of them. So here's one of them, Absolution Gap. I don't know which one's best or where to start. I haven't even, because I've never found them, I haven't even thought about where to start reading Alistair Reynolds. So I'm going to have to go through and figure out, where it begins and what to start with, what's the best one to kick it off with or what have you. So if anybody knows, please let me know what your thoughts are on that. I'd love to know, a good starting point. So, but Absolution Gap, that's one of them. I'll show you the other ones when they pop up. The Android's Dream, John Scalzi. If you remember if you've watched the January wrap-up, my favorite of that month was Old Man's War. Absolutely one of the best novels that I've read in just forever. Probably, I'm looking at what I read this month so far. Well, there's a couple good ones this month too, but I think Old Man War is still my favorite of the year. So, but I have a few more days to go before the end of the year, so we'll see. Android's Dream, I don't know anything about this one. I just grabbed it because it was Scalzi, and I'm trying to grab everything he's got now. Conan of the Isles. I have a lot of Conans too, and I'm not sure which ones I have, so I just went ahead and picked it up. Usually somebody will want it, if not anyway. Redemption Arc, here's another Alistair Reynolds one. Conan the Adventurer. This is Robert Howard and L. Sprague de Camp. Sprague de Camp. L. Sprague de Camp. This one, what was this? This is Diamond Horror. So it was mixed in with the sci-fi. It's called, the tag's in the way, sorry, Unearthed, Ashley McConnell. Yeah, McConnell. Don't know anything about this one. In the vast fortune, buried in the earth is a vast fortune of silver, hidden vein of precious metal that could not be reached by pick and shovel miners of Nantucket for nearly 100 years. So apparently they go down into a mining cave, and there's a horror that takes place. Chasm City, Alistair Reynolds. Here's another one of the Alistair Reynolds one that I picked up. All right, I'll grab another little bundle stacky thingy here. Vampiri, and this is the second in this series, and I think there's like 5 or 6 plus some spin-off add-on ones or whatever, but this is Brian Lumley, and I have a bunch of these already, but I just didn't think I had the second one, so I went ahead and scooped that. Another Scalzi, Lock-In. This might be part of that Deadly Game series with Head On. I think there's a couple in that one, or that atmosphere of things. Atmosphere. Universe. Setting. Red Planet. I love my little movie tie-ins. Movie adaptations. One thing I thought was cool that Alan Dean Foster said was that out of all the 40 that he wrote, he only saw the movie ahead of time on one movie. Everything else was based on screenplays and maybe some drawings and things like that. So that's pretty cool. And you get some little bit of uniqueness when you read the book. So there's a lot of those that I'm looking forward to reading because I want to just relive the movie or have a different take on it. Brave Free Men, Jack Vance. I have this one already, I'm pretty sure. But I couldn't pass up Vance. Oops, sorry. Bonking the camera. Trying to move fast. Third book in the Omen trilogy. I have Omen, and I think it's Prophecy, and then this one. So, or this is maybe just the tie-in for the third film. I'm not sure if they go in order like that, but this is it says Omen trilogy, terrifying new film, so Final Conflict, so maybe the third film tie-in, but doesn't quite go with the other ones. I'm not sure. Figure it out later. Just figured I'd grab it. Hadn't seen that one. Stephen King Firestarter. I have finally found this book. This is one of the ones I was missing forever. I'm looking up there to see where the heck it is. Should be over there because that's where they begin. Oh, I don't see it. Anyways, I've been looking for it forever. I found one the other day, but since I hadn't found it ever, I figured someone's probably going to want this, and it was only a couple bucks, so figured I'd grab it. Alistair Reynolds, Century Rain. It's on the ground. I guess I'll grab it. Sure. Century Rain. It's one of the other ones that I got of his. Okay, I think this one's in a thing still. I think this is a Star Trek one also. I'm not a Trekkie at all, but dang, the amount of Trek books I find, it kind of makes me want to be. I like the old ones, the old books, the way they look, and this one looks pretty freaking nice. I mean, it compels me to read it. So, Death's Angel by Kathleen Sky, chilling new Star Trek novel. This thing is in mint condition. This thing's cherry. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll start with the Blishes and then maybe the Alan Dean Foster ones, and that might make me want to read some more. Or maybe I'll read one Blish and go, I'm never reading this crap again. I don't know. I'm not a Trekkie. So, another copy of Stephen King's It. I have a few of these. Just scooped it up. Someone might want it on whatnot. The Island, Peter Benchley. He wrote Jaws, most famous for. There's The Island. There's The Monster or something like that, I think. It's one of the other ones that he wrote. He's wrote a few. I'm looking up there. I only see my Jaws copy. I don't see anything else right now. But haven't read any of his yet. But it is probably pretty good since a lot of them were turned into movies. So might be worth reading. Harry Harrison, Captive Universe. I picked up a few Harry Harrisons, and he's probably most well known for either Death World or Stainless Steel Rat. So I would guess those are his most famous. So I hadn't heard of this one. Thought I'd grab it. Death World is on my list to read, coming up here pretty soon, and I'll show you in a minute. I picked up a couple from him also. 1922, Stephen King. This is one I didn't have. I think this is in a compilation series. I don't remember for sure, but it just kind of came as a standalone book, and I'd like to read it. I know they made the Netflix movie out of it, and I didn't see it yet, so I'd like to watch that as well. Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough. I don't know why I grabbed this. I think I like the cover, and I think I remember seeing this on one of either Matt at Bookpill on one of his whatnots or on one of his review, probably not review, but maybe book hauls. And that cover is freaking fantastic. I remember when I saw it the first time, I was like, man, I gotta have that book someday. So I saw that, went ahead and grabbed it. Another Alistair Reynolds, Shadow Captain. I think Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough wrote a good amount of horror stuff. So I don't know if that's horror or sci-fi for that book, but I picked this up. Not sure if I want to keep it or not. It is The Man Who Created Tarzan, Edgar Rice Burroughs, and this is by Erwin Porges. It's a 2-volume set. It's huge, and it has basically tons of illustrations and articles and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if I want that or not. I have a lot of Tarzan stuff that I'd like to read. I did, spoiler for February's readings, I did read Princess of Mars, and I really enjoyed it. So I'd like to give Tarzan a try, and there's just so many that I don't know. There's just a ton. So I'm not sure. I might just read the first one, see what I think, and then go from there. The Nest. This is a Paperback from Hell book. One of the ones in that big Paperback from Hell book thing that you can go through and read the history of horror paperbacks. So that's one of them that's in that list, or in that book. And I finished another book from that list as well this month, and I'll tell you guys about that in the wrap up. Sean Hudson, Slugs. I am Very excited to read this one. I think I first saw this on my buddy Conan the Librarian's YouTube that he read, I think, fairly recently. So that is on my list. And then I have Breeding Grounds, which I believe is the second one from Slugs. So that's there as well. I could not believe this. Found a vintage copy of Richard Matheson's Hell House. I think this is the first book that he wrote, if I remember right. Hell House, and then Third from the Sun, which is like an anthology one, which I also have and is on my 100 reading list for the year. So I may add this one too, because I Am Legend is on there and The Shrinking Man is on there, and I'm kind of digging all of his stuff. So I may just throw this in for the 100 also. The Rats. Okay, this is another one from Paperbacks from Hell. This is a James Herbert. So he wrote The Fog, which I think is floating around here somewhere. Yeah, this one I already had from earlier, or from another time. But James Herbert wrote The Fog and The Rats. He's really well known for. Here's the sequel, Lair. I think this is the sequel. There's 3 of them. So Lair, and then Domain. I think Domain's the 3rd one. I'm pretty sure. So I'm stoked for those ones. Here's another Paperbacks from Hell one, The Lost Children. I have another one called Playmates, and it's similar to this, but I think there's a set of 3 of these with the skeleton holding the baby, and this one is number 2, I believe, in that set. I don't know if they all go together, if they all just have the same covers. So there's that. And this one, here's another copy of Breeding Grounds. So I'm gonna get rid of one of those. And this one I didn't pick up recently. I had, but I think I showed this one before. But Crab's Moon, another paperback from Hell. I just had these all in a stack right here. So the Rats, Hell House, Breeding Ground, Nest, all those ones I just picked up recently. The Fog and Crab's Moon I already had. I didn't know about this one. It's a Berkeley horror, and it's Dennis Etchison, and it's called Red Dreams. But check out this cover. What a trippy cover, huh? This one was $1.99. You can't beat that for a freaking vintage horror book. All right. C.G. Cherry, Voyager and Night. I actually have. So I had this. I picked this one up the other day. It's the same one, and I kind of like this cover. I don't know. I think I like this cover better than this cover. I'm not sure. I can't really decide. I mean, this one's really cool. That one's really cool too. But this is a DAW, so if I don't want it, I know there's a few people that are collecting DAWs that'll probably want this one. And it is a Hugo award-winning author. Never mind. I think Matt at Bookbuild read this one too on a review maybe a couple videos back of like the 5 he read recently or something like that. That might have been the one. I thought it was a Cherry in there somewhere. So, Greg Bear, Beyond Heaven's River. I have a decent amount of Bear. Blood Music is, I think, the only one I've read from Bear so far. But Bear's written quite a bit of stuff, so I kind of pick up ones that are unique that I haven't seen before. I'd like to read a few more. I'm not sure if I'll go with Eon. Is it Eon, right? That's his other one. I don't know. There's some good ones out there, so we'll see. Diamond Dogs Turquoise Days, another Alistair Reynolds. Galactic North, another Alistair Reynolds. Here's one of the Death World trilogy I was talking about. I actually have 2 of this. I picked this one up. I have one copy exactly like this that's on my 100 reading list. But the one I have is a little more beat up. So I grabbed this one. And then I didn't realize, but I'll show you there's another one in here too. So Time Scoop, John Brunner. Right? Yep, John Brunner. Kind of cool looking copy. I don't know if that one's any good or not, but let's see here. Okay, some more Star Trek. The Price of Phoenix. So I grabbed these older ones because they're kind of nice looking. I'm not sure if they're any good or not, and if somebody's going to want them out there somewhere. J.A. Lawrence, Mud Angels, Star Trek novel. Another one. Another Star Trek one, Gordon Eklund, and this is Devil World, yeah. Stickers over it, sorry. And look at these guys. Hard to see with that reflection, I'm sorry. That's why I usually am away from the light. My bad. Oh, another Blish one, number 4. Not sure if I have number 4 yet or not. I gotta go and look. McCammon, Swan Song. I have a bunch of McCammon, but this one's pretty nice. Pretty clean. I'm trying to keep the older ones though. So sometimes there's a little bit newer printed one that doesn't quite look as good, or that has a different feel to it. What did I just say? Sometimes there's a newer printed one that doesn't have the same feel. It doesn't have like the embossed kind of deal. This one's not embossed. So sometimes I forget, like right after I'm just done talking, and it's just, my brain just short circuits. They Thirst, I have a few of these. This is a newer printed one, so this isn't the old one. But I have a couple of these copies already, and these are nice ones to grab hold of, because usually people want to grab McCammon if they can. The Ruins, I have this one. It's been on my wanting to read list for a while. I absolutely love this movie, so I'm sure this book is going to be fantastic. And I have a copy of this already, but the whole spine is just destroyed on my copy. It's all bent and mangled. And so I went ahead and grabbed this, and when I find my copy, I'll swap it out. And it's in here somewhere behind the camera in the bookshelf. So that's on my agenda already, and I will have to find it so I can replace it with the better looking one. And here we go. We got Silverberg, To Open the Sky. Another McCammon, Blue World. So another good one. Here's another omnibus of Doc Savage. This is number 2. Revelation Space, Alistair Reynolds. This one sounds really familiar. This might be the one that everybody says start with, or it's one of his best. I'm not 100%. All right, so another Doc Savage omnibus number 4. So I got 3 of those omnibuses for Doc Savage. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like, I don't know, 12 or 13 novels in those 3 books. Snowman. It left the Himalayas crazed with hunger. It trekked across the Asian wastes, making its way from Siberia to Alaska. That just sounds great already. Down the face of North America came 25 feet of not quite human animal with a desperate craving for human flesh. Then, at last, on a serene California mountain, at a lush ski resort, it found what it was after. That sounds good. Vintage copy of Dracula. Look at that cover. That's a freaking dope cover. The skull into the bat. I like that one. I've never seen this cover, and I've found Dracula a few times. Joe Clayton, Moonscatter. I gotta look for my Claytons. Where the heck are they? They're over here somewhere. But I don't think I have this one. I have a bunch of other ones from Joe Clayton. Usher's Passing, McCammon. Check out that one. That's a vintage copy right there. Richard Lehman. Got quite a few Lehmans. Night in the Lonesome October. I haven't read Lehman yet, but kind of a staple, I think. I have one called The Cellar that I think I was going to start with him. SP Somtow, Vampire Junction. I have a few of these vampire ones. So, I don't know if they all go together or what, but I was going to just, if they do, kind of keep them in a lot. I think these might be part of Paperbacks from Hell as well, so I will, if they are, I'm trying to keep all those ones or collect all those ones, what have you. So I think some of these I showed on on Instagram as well when I pulled them out of the box. Not this one. Hoka. Paul Anderson. It's kind of a neat little, and Gordon Dixon together. Kind of a neat little series. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. Maybe not that many. Maybe there's 3 or 4 of them. And it's, as you can see, teddy bears. Ramsey Campbell, Cold Print. I have Hoka, I think, already. I'm trying to see where the heck I put my Paul Andersons. Oh, they're over here. Maybe I have Hoka. Oh, well. I thought I didn't have that one. Cold Print, Ramsey Campbell. Now I'm curious. I can see one right here. And yep, it's Hoka. Dang it. I thought I had Hoka or Hoka. I don't know. But I have the first one. There we go. Or maybe this isn't the first one. Well, I'm definitely keeping this one. This one's fully illustrated, so keeping this one for sure. So I'll get rid of the other one then. Yep. I don't remember how many there are in the series, but I mean, look at this. Look at this. Illustrations on here. There's some good ones. Yeah. I'll have to throw this on my list here. All right, pretty sure this is another Paperbacks from Hell. This is a zebra horror, and it's William Johnstone, Toy Cemetery. And I think a lot of these are like $20 books at least. I know this one is up there. This one's probably closer to 100. This is the first Camp Crystal Lake novel, Friday the 13th, Mother's Day. I know these Friday the 13th ones are not cheap. So, Eric Morris. The Intruders. I actually had this one with a crack in it. This is like a holographic cover. You can see it. And it's hard. So the front page you can't really bend. It's just like a hard plastic, that little cover like that, and it's holographic. But I had one that was all split like this, and I'm pretty sure I sold it on Whatnot because it was still cool to have. And then because I had another copy that didn't have the hologram, and so I was like, man, well, let's get rid of that one. But I found one with the hologram intact, so I'll get rid of my other one now. Brian Aldiss, Starship. I have Hot House on my list to read as well, and or Long Day, Long Afternoon, Long Day on Earth, Long Afternoon on Earth. One of those, which is basically the same thing. I think it was just a revised novel or shortened novel, whatever. Or novel that was released in the UK or something. Whatever. I think they're basically the same thing. Starship, Brian Aldiss. Has nothing to do with that book. Guillermo del Toro. I think this is part of the strain. No, maybe not part of the strain. But Guillermo wrote the strain, and so I picked up this one because I have the strain, I have the hollow ones, and I have the Night Eternal from him. And I watched that little mini series on Netflix where it was like 7 little horror stories or something like that, and they were okay. All right. Night Eternal, also Guillermo, but he does have a knack for horror. So, all right, last little bit. The 7 Deadly Sins of Science Fiction. Look at this cover. It's pretty crazy. And it has Greenberg, Vance writing about sloth. Judith Merrill about lust. Henry Slezzer, Isaac Asimov, Zelazny, Frederick Pohl, two from Frederick Pohl, Paul Anderson, and Michael G. Coney. So that's a good little list, all having to do with the 7 deadly sins. So that's kind of cool. I'd like to throw that one on my list at some point to read as well. I just have so much stuff. I have this book already, and it's up on my shelf here. It is the same, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same. So, it's the Collector's Book of Science Fiction by H.G. Wells with the original illustrations. So, it's kind of a bulky beast, but it has War of the Worlds, First Man on the Moon, When a Sleeper Wakes. Let's see, that's, some of the main ones. Stories of the Stone Age. It has 15 ones, but Story of the Stone Age has 5 in it. So it's got a pretty good list of stuff. This is not everything that he wrote, but I think it's covering all the scientific sci-fi basis. Pretty sure. So that is a pretty cool one. I have the exact same one, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I just couldn't pass it up. It was like $5. So here's the Death World trilogy that I picked up the hardcover, and I figured I'd grab this since this cover is really awesome, and I was planning on reading it anyway, so I went ahead and grabbed that one. Now this one I have volume 2 that I've had for a long time, and I was hoping that someday I'd find volume 1, and so I finally did. Brian Aldiss, Galactic Empires, volume 1. I have, as I said, volume 2. So this is kind of finally completing the set, and it has tons of stuff, but it has R.A. Lafferty, Clark, Paul Anderson, Asimov. I'm just kind of skipping through ones that are very well known. Simak, James White, and I don't remember what volume 2 has, but there's a lot of stuff in these ones. So I was very happy to find this. I think it was only $5 or something. Might even been less. So I was pretty happy with that. I already took the sticker off. Another H.G. Wells Complete Science Fiction Treasury. Now this one has some of the more well-known ones. It has Time Machine, Island of Dr. Moreau, Invisible Man, War of the Worlds, First Men on the Moon, Food of the Gods, and In the Days of the Comet. So those are the ones that are in this one. It's kind of a little bit, a little bit more of well-known ones. I'd like to read through all these. I've already read, just this year so far, I've already read 2 of these. And I plan on reading War of the Worlds with my son in a little bit, because he's going to do a little report on it. And so that's on there, and so then I would have 4 more to read. So might as well. Be kind of nice to knock a bunch of H.G. Wells kind of well-known stuff off. I've enjoyed it so far. All right, another John Scalzi, Consuming Fire. This is not part of the Old Man War series. This may be standalone. Not sure. As far as I know, it's not part of it. What did I say? Collapse. Oh, Consuming Fire. Yeah. On here it shows Lock-In, Head-On, and Unlocked are part of the Lock-In series. So I'm gonna have to grab Unlocked too. I don't have that one. I have all the Old Man War novels. I have a couple more to get from his standalone stuff, and I'm not sure where this one fits in anywhere. So, but this was written in 2018, so it's not too old. Alfred Bester, The Demolished Man. And this says it was the first winner of the first Hugo Award. Alfred Bester, Stars My Destination is probably one of the ones he's most known for. I don't know if Demolished Man was also a well-known one. I think he wrote it after Stars My Destination. Not 100%. But I went ahead and grabbed it because the other one's on my list. And then finally, Alan Dean Foster, author of Into the Out of and Glory Lane. I got this book at one point back when I didn't know any better, and I sold it. And I came across it another time, and I passed it up because I was just strictly looking for what sale price was. And I knew, I was like, oh, I sold it for like, I don't know, $7-8 bucks. So I'm not going to pick it up because it was like $4 to buy or $5 to buy. So like selling it on eBay, I wasn't going to make any money. But since then I've been like, man, I really want to read that one. That one's been on my list to read, and I was kind of bummed. So I was happy to find it, and I went ahead and scooped it. It's not going to be like crazy surprise. Probably never heard of it. To the Vanishing Point. So I love that cover. And this is probably one of the best looking Alan Dean Foster ones that I've seen. Usually they're very cartoony, have a bunch of animals all over them and stuff. So just a dead person with curlers this time. And a girl in the rearview mirror, and then some weird little thingamajigger over here by the cacti. It's got horns, some thick quads. It's been doing squats, long arms, pretty buff, and looks like a really jacked demon kangaroo. That's what I'm going for. So, even though kangaroos are pretty jacked already, this one's like Arnold jacked. So, Vanishing Point looks pretty cool. Don't know anything about it. I just know, man, I really wanted to read that sucker, and I got rid of it. So I'm happy to have it back. Anyways, that was my most recent book haul. Sorry for that big slappy slam. Most recent book haul from a box that I received. I have 10 more of those boxes on the way, so I'm kind of stoked. Should be all horror and sci-fi. Maybe I'll do like a live unboxing for those ones because it's quite a bit. Or maybe I'll just open them all up and sort through them and pick out the best ones. I don't know. Whatever. But had a good, I went on vacation, went down to Monterey Bay, and sorted around there with some good stuff. There's a really cool bookstore there if you're ever in the area. Has a whole room dedicated to sci-fi fantasy. So it was worth taking a trip to and checking out. Otherwise, I think that's it. I will catch you guys on the next video. Coming up, I'm going to have the February wrap-up of what I've read. So far, I think I read like 9 books this month so far, and I got like another week to go. So I'm hoping to maybe get another 2 or 3 in there as I'm going along. I got to read a lot while I was at that vacation spot, so pretty stoked. And so a little more than normal. Other than that, I will add some more chapters to Richard Matheson's The Shrinking Man that I'm reading through coming up as well. And yeah, I think we're good. Catch you guys next time. See you later.